This is the King of the Streets, Brandon King, and I am here with Dontae Smiley, here on Street Talk. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing wonderful, man. Too blessed to be stressed.
Hell yeah. And I see that you now have 3 championships.
Yes, sir.
A few weeks ago, last time I saw you, you had 2. So the new one now is the MPX Tag Team Championships.
Yes, sir.
Which you won with a good friend of yours and your longtime
friend.
tag team partner, Ty Wilson, the Radikal Athletes. I just want to say congratulations to you guys.
Thank you.
It's well deserved. You guys are
thank you.
great tag team together.
Thank you.
I need to get you guys both on the show now.
yeah. He'll be happy to be on here, man, for sure.
Hell yeah. All right, so first question. How long have you been in this business now?
I've been in the business since June of 2014.
Of 2014, so 3 years now?
About 2.5 going on 3 years here soon, yeah. When I first started training, I had my first match in November of 2014. So about 6 months after I started training, I had my first match against Ty Wilson.
Wow. So were you guys already tag partners at this time, or no?
No, we were only singles at this time. Started off against each other in a nice little minor feud. And then at some point, the Bad Boys attacked us actually during our third match. And then at that point, there's a tag team tournament coming up, and BTW administration made me and Ty Wilson tag team. And after that, I mean, the rest has been history.
Oh, yeah.
On the up and up.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what I like to hear. So, who was the one that trained you then?
We started training with Anthony Black. We were with him for a good while, still with him. And then we started training with Lamar Williams after that at the DFW All Pro Wrestling Academy, which is where we go to now. Because, you know, training never ends no matter how many years you've been into the business, you know what I mean? So we got people that are a week into it, and we have people that are 8 years into it that come out to the training system. So we all like to stay learning, stay training, stay working. Just getting as much knowledge as we can, because you can never know everything, and that's one of the good places to train, most definitely.
Oh yeah. Now that you mentioned that you've been in the business about 2 or going on 3 years, it made me remember whenever I first saw you was at MPX at the old building.
Right. Yeah.
At the old building, and I was still working security at that time. I think you were facing Stephen Kirby.
Yep.
And was that your first match at MPX?
That was my second match at MPX.
At MPX.
My first match was a fatal 4-way, and it was me, Tadlock, James Johnson, and Jason Silver. If I'm not mistaken, it was us 4. In a fatal 4-way, I was the first one eliminated, unfortunately, you know what I mean? It was my first time being in the ring with all those guys, and so it was my first time kind of learning about them, seeing how they work and things like that, you know what I mean? And then the second time I was there, me and Stephen Kirby faced off, had an awesome match and things like that. And then, I mean, once again, when it comes to MPX, the rest is history.
That's why you have that gold on your shoulder, right? Now I want to talk about some of the other gold that you have here.
Okay.
You have another tag team champion gold, and where's that one from? BTW?
Yes, sir. Big Texas Wrestling. Yes, sir. Out of Cleveland, Texas, Kaufman Leadership Academy.
And you also won that with Ty as well, correct?
Yes, sir. The only tag team partner I have. That's it.
Who'd you guys beat?
We beat Anthony Black and Seth Anunnaki, the Bad Boys. And it was our second straight time beating them, because we had to beat them in a number 1 contenders match, because they were already the champions. And they're like, if you want to face the champions, you have to beat the champions first. So we had to beat them, and then we got a shot for the titles. Beat them for that. And then, I mean, since 2015, September 26, 2015, we've held these Bad Boys. So it's been almost 2 years. They're coming up just in a few months, as long as we keep hanging on to them and keep defending them like we have been. So
you guys are so far undefeated for tag team gold. As long as you guys have been holding those BTW tag team titles. Reason why you still have them.
I mean, every title that I've won up until this point, I'm yet to drop it. Like we haven't defended these yet. I assume that we'll be defending them this coming up Saturday on April Fool's Day. And, but I've defended my Global Wrestling Federation Light Heavyweight Championship multiple times. Haven't lost a match yet on the defense, obviously. You know, the BTW tag team titles, I mean, me and Ty joke and say we're your forever champions just because nobody's come in and, gave us that. I mean, we've had big tests, you know what I mean? but nobody's actually knocked us out yet. You know what I mean? So
Right.
550, 600 plus days and counting, you know what I mean? We're still the Big Texas Wrestling Tag Team Champions. I'm still the Global Wrestling Federation Light Heavyweight Champion. And we just won these here MPX Tag Team titles, and we plan on being the MPX Tag Team Champions for a long time also.
Now, you guys defeated DTF to win those MPX Tag Team titles.
Yeah.
How was it going up against them? Because I know how they wrestle. I've watched
Right.
them. I've been in the ring with them.
I mean, you saw what they did. That's one of the smartest vet groups in the game right now. You know what I mean? And Andy Dalton and Brent McKenzie as the two members that we faced off against. And, we came out with some fire when Nigel Rabbit made them put their titles on the line after they interfered in Jerome and Kirby's match. He knew where the tag team, if any tag team that was there, that were going to be able to give them a fight and hopefully, as he wanted, beat them so they could lose their titles and he could get some good champions in that the crowd loves, that the fan loves and want to support, you know what I mean? And we came in and had a tag team match of our lifetime so far, you know what I mean? It was a tough fought match. They did everything they could to keep Ty away from tagging me in after the start of the match, and they did a very, very good job of that. But we came in, they had their bit with Jerome and Kirby earlier in that night. Jerome and Kirby got their revenge and stuff like that, and we finished them off. And 1, 2, 3, we became the new MPX Tag Team Champions.
Hell yeah, that was one hell of a match.
Thank you.
Plus, you guys wrestled in a tag team match earlier in that night as well.
We did.
So not only were they fresh, but you guys were already weakened down a little bit.
Yeah. And
you guys were beat down.
Ty had been beat up once again a lot in that first match also,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And that's once again, with Andy and Brent being as smart as they are, they knew that. And so that's why they kept him away from me that whole time, because they knew he was the more worn out opponent at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a good job. But once that tag was made or whatever, we had to come in and we had the wreck shot once I got in.
Wow. So you just been busy this last few months.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I also really want to talk about is you just came back from a serious injury.
Yeah.
You injured your ankle, correct?
Yeah, I dislocated my foot.
Ah.
Yeah, it was a foot dislocation as the sub to the joint. So pretty much my heel separated from my ankle and stuff. It just twisted in and locked in.
So how long were you put out of action?
3 months. Two and a half, 3 months, yeah.
And where'd you make your return at then?
I made my return against the Undisputed title match against Jay Ace at the DFW All Pro Wrestling Academy show. That was out in Cleburne. What was it, February 22nd or February 20-something? I can't remember the actual
I think it was
date.
the 25th.
25th, yeah. I think you're right. Yeah, it was February 25th. And so I made my return that match, had an awesome match. We went to actually got both DQ because it was a time limit draw match. Neither one of us won. He actually sat on the turnbuckle to end it and things like that just to make sure he, stayed retaining.
Yeah.
We got an extra 5 minutes, but something in both of us, I think the gloves were off, and we ended up on the outside of the ring and never got back inside of the ring, so we both got DQ'd. And then the administration called for a ladder match this coming April. So me and him have a ladder match on April 22nd to finally see who's the undisputed Global Wrestling Federation Light Heavyweight Champion.
Damn, have you ever been in a ladder match before this?
Yes, I've been in a Fatal 4-Way ladder match with me, Orion Taylor, Joey Garcia, and Seth Anunnaki at TOP for the Cruiserweight title.
Wow.
Yeah.
How was your experience in a ladder match then?
We felt it. Yeah. I can tell you that much. Those type of matches are unforgiving. You know what I mean? The ladders are unforgiving. And so you got to make sure you stay doing what you need to do and stay on your toes and stay innovative to make sure you hopefully can stay away from getting beat with a ladder, you know what I mean? But do
Right.
the beatings with the ladder and ultimately have the 3 other guys down and 1 other guy and 2 other guys, how many you're going against, for you to be able to climb to that top and pull the belts down.
Wow. So I hope I never have to be thrown into a ladder. Let's try to keep that to you guys. I wear the stripes for a reason. But you said you also have that CWF light heavyweight title.
GWF.
Or
Yeah.
GWF, my bad.
No,
I
you're good.
apologize.
No, you're good.
Who did you defeat for that?
Zero, yeah. He was
Zero, the anti-punk or
Yeah.
the 0-bit punk? 0-bit punk.
0-bit punk. 8-bit, 0-bit,
8-bit.
8-bit punk.
8-bit
Zero,
punk.
Yeah, 8-bit.
You have too many names, Zero.
But yeah, so I had to beat Zero for it, man. And actually, once again, me and Jay Ace have been in a rivalry for almost a year now. because I faced Jay Ace in the #1 contenders match not too far from here in Tioga, and I beat him. Became the #1 contender in my first match for the title. I beat Zero to win the title. I came in knowing I needed to show and prove. It was my first time in the ring with him ever. His first time in the ring with me. I was training hard before then, so I went in, feeling like I had the upper hand a little bit. I did my research on him, saw the stuff that he likes to do and things like that, and I was able to stay away from letting him do some of his patented moves and things like that to try to take me out.
Right. And I've seen Zero work. He's worked at MPX.
Right.
Great. He's a great in-ring wrestler. He has the fans behind him just like you guys do. So
Right.
I would love to see a rematch
Yeah,
for
that'd be awesome.
any of those titles at this
That's
point.
awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's open challenge season pretty much, you know what I mean?
So anyone who wants a shot at those titles.
And the thing with myself, the thing with Ty, the thing with us, when we understand that when you're a champion, you have to be a fighting champion and defend any chance you have to defend if a challenge comes about. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're not runaway people. Regardless of anybody's size, regardless of anybody's skill level and things like that, none of that's matter. We've been in the ring with giants. We faced Keith Lee and Shane Taylor before, you know what I mean? And we're able to keep them on their toes. I mean, we ultimately lost, but, we didn't just get demolished, you know what I mean?
Right.
And we weren't scared. We didn't back down. There's a picture out there with me and Keith standing face to face where he's looking at me like, what does this little chump think he's going to do type deal, you know what I mean? And I'm looking at him like, come on, big boy, let's do this, you know what I'm saying? Because as a fighter, as a wrestler, as a champion especially, it's your duty to show and prove. You're in that ring for a reason. You face what you face for a reason. You go out there when you win titles, you show and prove another instance to be able to win it. You know what I mean? Overcome
Right.
any objectives that you had to overcome. And then it is your job to hold on to them. It is your job to stay fighting. It's your job to keep showing and proving 24/7.
Of course. That's all that you have to do, and then you're going to make it to the top. Now, who are some of your dream matches then?
Oh man, that's tough. There's a lot of good wrestlers out there, man. That's because that's one of them cliche questions. You know what I mean?
But it has to be asked. It has to be asked.
I mean, it does and stuff. You know what I mean? But ultimately, I guess, to me, my dream match would be. Let's see. I wish, not being stereotypical, obviously, but, any of the major players in WWE, obviously, you know what I mean? That's ultimately where we want to get to, you know what I mean? So if I make it to, the NXT, if I make it to Raw and SmackDown, so on and so forth, if I get to that level, you know what I mean? It'll be anybody that I face at any pay-per-view at that point. It'll be anybody that I face for any championship at that point or anything else. You know what I mean? Because that list is so broad. But, that's my ultimate goal is I want to make it to that. I want to be a known name more than anything else. You know what I mean? Nationally known name. Not just statewide known name.
Right.
Nationally known. And overseas and things like that. You know what I mean? And that's what we're working towards. Because ultimately, that's how you know you made it. You know what I mean? When you're facing the main players, whether it be in the indies or the majors, you know what I mean? None of that matters. There's a lot of very, 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 very good people out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if I get my chance to get in the ring with any of those top guys like that, and I've been in the ring with some of them already, you know what I mean? And things like that, so those are just my dream matches, man. Anybody that's anybody, let's say that. Anybody that's anybody I want to wrestle.
So that goes for the indie scene and for
everybody,
the major league,
everybody.
The quote-unquote major leagues.
I want it. I want to go through everybody, man.
Hell yeah. That people like a fighting champion. People get behind fighting champions.
Right.
So, what is your favorite match that you've had as a tag team?
Favorite match as a tag? I would have to say it's the BTW Tag Team title win. You know what I mean? It was our first titles. It was a very emotional night. It was a hard-fought time up until that point, from when we had started that facing each other to all the matches that we had to fight against, the bad boys to be able to get to this championship match and things like that where they were attacking us during other matches. They would try to have all kind of certain stipulations for us to have title shots and things like that. And then finally we overcame him in that title match on the 26th of September in 2015. So I have to say that would be my favorite match so far, you know what I mean? And then obviously winning these tag team titles, because it's the second tag team championships that we won. So that would be the second, because that came second, you know what I mean? So facing DTF at MPX a couple weeks ago would definitely be my second favorite so far.
Now, what about singles? Besides the GWF
right.
light heavyweight, what is probably your all-time favorite match that you've ever had?
All-time favorite match singles might be one of my. It'll either be when I faced Adrian Matthews up in Colorado at New Era Wrestling, or man, we've had them matches up there have been awesome. You know what I mean? So. Anybody, kind of like all the matches that I've had at New Era Wrestling have been against top-notch guys, you know what I mean? If I would say 80% of the matches got, that was awesome chant at the end of them and things like that. So I would have to say just the collective of matches as a whole at New Era Wrestling, you know what I mean? When I go to other states, I'm making my duty to really show out then, because those are people that don't know you. And, I won the Newcomer of the Year award there last year in 2016 for the year that I had out there. Because, I went from, being an unknown guy coming out there in November of 2015 to being in their championship match for the New Era Wrestling Championship at the end of 2016. You know what I mean? And winning the award for Newcomer of the Year. So that says a lot about how those matches were going out there.
Right.
And I've had just so many good singles matches out here. It's hard to choose one. All of them been fun. I faced a lot of good opponents over time, you know what I mean? So shout out to, everybody I faced, especially shout out to everybody I beat, shout out to everybody I lost to also.
Shout out to everyone that you've ever been in the ring with, period.
Exactly, you know what I mean? Whether you like me or not, you got to deal with me because I'm going to be here, you know what I mean? I'm here to show and prove. I'm here to do this for my family. I'm here to do it for the culture, you know what I'm saying?
Of course. And there's always a level of respect that has to be given along with that, and whether they give it back or not,
right? That's
how you give it back to them.
Yeah, that's not, I'm not even worried about it, man. We cool, calm, and collect. We're just here to do our job.
Exactly. Now, a few more questions before we wrap this interview up.
All right.
Who inspired you to become a wrestler?
Oh, man. I would say I've always wanted to be one, so I know the person that put me on wrestling was my dad and my brother Martez, you know what I mean? Those were the people that had put me on it to begin with back, I'm talking 93, 94.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? When I was real young, and fell in love with it. And ever since then, I didn't know about the indie scene a lot growing up. I knew a lot about WWF, but I didn't know about the indie scene until I got a little bit older. And once I started getting into it, that's when I was, started diving into it and wanted to do it myself and actually finding my ways to be able to start training and things like that and hit the ground running. But as a wrestler, you know what I mean, it was, I would say Shawn Michaels and The Rock were the two that really made me fall in love with this art form called professional wrestling. You know what I mean? Watching them two changed my whole perspective, changed my life, you know what I mean, when it comes to watching wrestling. It gave me a whole different view of it.
Now, I like how you said wrestling is an art form. That's the biggest thing, because people get it mixed up with it being quote-unquote fake. But you know it really hurts. Whenever you guys land those strikes, there's no whiffing. It's straight contact.
Yeah.
It is an art. You guys put on a show for that crowd.
Yeah. We gotta rice our body afterwards. You know what I mean? I can't tell you too many matches that I've had where ice didn't come at some point afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. You always gotta
aches and
protect the
pains
body.
and bruises and cuts. It happens, man. But at the end of the day, it's for the people. You know what I mean? Like I say, we do it for the culture. We do it for the art. We do it for the fans. That's who it's for, regardless of anything else. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
And it's gonna stay like that. That's why we love what we do. That's why I love what we do. You know what I mean? When you step through that curtain and everybody just cheers for you, everybody boos you one way or another, it's going to give you chills, matter of who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you step back from a return at the promotion that you started at and step through the curtain, and all you do, you hold up 3 belts since the last time they just seen you, and they chant your name and boo the person in the ring, that sends chills down your spine. You're going to sit there and soak that in a little bit. Looking left to right, looking in the back, you know what I mean? and then that could bring tears to your eyes. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about. It's about them. Everybody on the outside of that barricade, sitting, that paid to be there to watch us. It's about them. That's who we do it for.
Now, one last question. What's your social media? Now people can follow you, keep up with your matches, everything else.
Right, most definitely. My website is www.dradsmiley.com, and all my social medias are at dradsmiley. Easy
all right.
enough.
And do you have any upcoming shows as well?
Oh man, packed. This upcoming Saturday, once again, April Fools, we're at MPX out in Bedford, Texas. Like I said, I assume we're going to be putting these bad boys on the line for the first time. I hope we are, because I'm ready to defend them. Since I won them the following weekend, I'm back in Colorado facing a good cat. If I'm not mistaken, Chris Ligon, as I think is his last name. But he's real good. He wrestled for CZW and a lot of other real good promotions. Sorry about that phone going off a little bit. After that, we're back at MPX, and we're getting all the way around. You know what I mean? The summer is gonna be crazy busy. I'm gonna be back at NAWA, going to Houston, Hollywood, going to West Virginia for ASW. So
wow.
We're getting it moving, man. A lot of
you
good
guys
things
are
happening and stuff. Yeah, it's popping off right now. You know what I mean? So we just got to keep it popping.
As long as you guys don't forget, the little people back over here.
Hey, like I say, we do it for the culture, baby. You part of the culture. You know what I'm saying? We here.
All right. Thank you for taking the time out of your day
Most
for this
definitely.
interview. I will see you down the road.
Peace, love, and hair grease.